Hey, good morning, or whatever time that you get a chance to check this out real quick. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know what our intentions are for coming down to Las Cruces once a month. Um, I had a chance to speak with some of you, but not all of you. But I've sent out a couple invitations to a Facebook page that we'll start. I call it the Middle Cross. But essentially, Bonnie and I, we were talking, and we miss everyone, and we think about you guys all the time, and it doesn't feel right that we don't communicate any longer, and that we just kind of everyone's gone their separate ways. But I still have received many phone calls from so many that are they're just hurting. They're in pain a little bit, and I just don't want to pretend like that doesn't exist. I'd like to get together once a month, and this is not. I'm not starting a church. We're not starting a ministry. I serve as an executive pastor right now with a couple of churches outside of the state, ironically. Um, so I'm busy as it is. I couldn't do that if I wanted to. And to prove that, we want to do it on Saturdays. So that way on Sunday, you're free to go to whichever church you go to. I honestly, I just don't care. Um, but we want to make sure that Saturday is a special sacred time, that just once a month we can get together, the families can meet. If you'd like to, I'm willing to. I'd love to. You know me. I like to teach the Bible. I like to preach the Word. Since we have last seen each other, I did complete my bachelor's in Christian theology, and then I also received a master's in Christian leadership, as well as I received another master's in it was the bigger one, it was the master's of divinity, and I am trying to get the PhD. So I mean, I have surrounded myself with theology, not to impress anybody, but it's because it's just what I needed. It's what the family needed, and it's brought a lot of clarity and a lot of peace with along with it. I also got a new haircut. I know no one can notice. It look pretty much the same, but a little off the sides, high and tight, like they call it. But seriously, that's our only intention. Once a month we'll be down there. Even if you don't come, we're still going to come once a month anyways, because we have, first of all, we love the city. But secondly, we could always hang out with Gerardo and Yuna, or make Ruben come out of his cave or something. We'll figure things out. But it would be beautiful to see all of you again, to celebrate with you. If, like I said, if it's sharing a lesson, let's do that. If it's singing together and listening to Marvin on the guitar again, please. I can't tell you how badly I would look forward to that. If it's just discussion, just, hey man, let's get it out. This has been a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. Let's not pretend like it doesn't exist. Let's do that as well. And very briefly, I have received a lot of advice when I tell my story to other, professors mainly. They're the ones that kind of ask these questions these days for me. But one of them pulled me aside, and he listened to what I had to say, and he agreed that it was difficult. It was a bad situation, but he also made a brilliant point that I had not thought of, because I was just caught up in contemporary, just church stuff, church politics. And he passed the Bible to me, and he asked me to find a leader in all of Judeo-Christian history that had it easy, that was under constant encouragement and delight. He said, don't use today's preachers, because many of today's preachers, they're not living that same life, and so they're not going to be able to relate and understand what it's like to experience what I'm trying to get you to understand. And the truth is, I couldn't find any of those leaders. They just don't exist in the scriptures. So I know that although it was rough and it was hard, there was a lot to be learned there. There was a lot for me that I personally gained. And I thank each and every one of you, because I don't think myself, I don't think Bonnie would have got. Bonnie's doing fantastic, by the way. Her career has really taken off, and she has excelled in her profession. She is a true credit to her profession in counseling. In fact, even though we're in New Mexico, she's one of the very few bilingual counselors, so she can offer that as well as she has a couple specialties that others just can't offer. So anyways, things are going well, the family's well, but I want to hear about your family. I want to see your faces again. I want if you're angry with me, that's okay. I accept that. I would love to hear that. I'm not going to be defensive about it. In fact, if this feels too controversial, like, I don't want to meet again, I don't want to go through that, I completely understand that too. Then just don't come, but just know that I love you. Just know that I didn't forget our experiences together. They were unique. They were challenging, but they were filled with blessing. I could go on and on about that. In fact, I preach about it often to other churches that I serve. And it breaks my heart that I have to do that. But that's how I relive those experiences and those times of victory in the middle of the valley, in the middle of defeat. But again, that's our only sole intention, is to have a Saturday of celebration. Our family is going to stay in Las Cruces overnight, and we'll drive back on Sunday. Maybe even after catching a church service with one of the families. I don't think, I mean, just to be honest, I don't think going to the Las Cruces El Paso ICO, I don't think that's for us. I don't think, first of all, I don't think that would go over well with many, but it certainly wouldn't, fly with us necessarily. Not to be offensive, it's just that's where we're at. That's the truth of the matter. But anywhere else, we're free, we're open. And I look forward to hearing your responses. And again, there is no pressure. There's just nothing like that. This is not a church. It's not a ministry. I know many people think that it could bloom into that, as I've heard conversations. And I would just, say, hey, you never know what God is going to do. I agree with that. But at the same time, let's not boast about tomorrow, because we don't know. We don't even know if this thing will take off. We don't know, because if there's zero interest in it, then it's just going to be me and Bonnie hanging out with the Valencias and throwing darts with John Pole and whatnot, just visiting friends down there. And it's my prayer that you guys consider us your friends still, let alone your brother and sister. And we just want to experience that once more. Just put that back on, because as I was told, God has, in all likelihood, a lot of unfinished work for me in Las Cruces. Not as a minister, not as a pastor, none of those things, but as a friend, as a brother, as a man who cares and wants to see the truth prevail, wants to see righteousness flourish, and ultimately to give God His glory. And I think we can do that by loving one another. I believe that. I think it's that simple. So anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. You can message me if you're comfortable with that on Facebook. Some of you I sent friend requests to. Please, I hope you will accept those. And then join the page, the Middle Cross page, where I'll be putting up scriptures and kind of doing what I do with my online churches now, navigating through that, just staying encouraging and trying to focus on spiritual development and pressing forward to what's ahead. So brothers and sisters, we love you. I look forward to hearing from you. Good, bad, and ugly, I look forward to hearing from you. And I just want you to know from our side, if it was bad, I would say it. If it was ugly, I would tell you to your face, but it's just not for us. And if it is for you, that's okay. But for us, there's only good. There's only memories of love. There's only memories of joy. And now, like the old saying says, hindsight is 20/20. I'll look back in the past now, and I know that we had real ministry. We had real fellowship. We didn't have organization. We weren't a well-oiled machine, but we cared. We gave to the poor. We we ate with one another, and we did enjoy the company of each other's, fellowship, and that's all to God's glory. So anyways, guys, please, questions, concerns, 575-312, I better not say it online. Look me up. I'll give you my number. Send me a text or a personal message, rather. All right, guys, we love you, and thank you for your time.